forward. Listening to KBLA Talk 1580. Talk 1580. Talk 1580. Listen.
Hey, so I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
Don't you driving me insane? Got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games. Man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light. See the light.
Paternity fraud laws and how they're behind the times. It may be a no-brainer to know who mothers a child. When it comes to a father, sometimes the lines can become a little blurry, and this is where paternity fraud has been known to surface, posing the opportunity for a lot of upsetting problems. And why not? Once a dad finds out he's not the biological father, there's a lot of pain and resentment to be expressed. And then, of course, there's the child. Believe as much as 4% of the dads out there are raising children that were fathered by other men. That may seem like a low number, but in terms of children, that's anywhere from 5 to 7 million kids who are in the midst of paternity fraud and don't know it. In some cases, the father may not be raising the child, but rather paying child support ordered by a court. So what happens when a dad finds out he's paid years of child support only to learn the child wasn't his? According to the link below the video, fathers who've been paying child support under fraudulent claims of paternity are not guaranteed reimbursement. Most states in the U.S. have laws that may continue to hold the non-biological father financially accountable until the child's 18. But why is that? Well, if you can believe it, paternity fraud, it's not a criminal act. It can become a civil case in certain states, such as Texas. But there's no guarantee of favorable outcome for the victims of paternity fraud. Now, this is primarily due to the fact that mothers don't have to prove paternity in any situation. Men can request paternity tests, though this can be an offensive demand leading to added stress. Needless to say, paternity fraud laws have a lot of opportunity to catch up with the times. What about you? Have you been involved in a paternity fraud case? Maybe you were in a situation where a paternity test made sense, but you didn't feel comfortable.
It's Monday. You think I'm going to take my foot off the gas? No. I'm going to continue to hit you with the tough topics. Tonight's topic, you're not the father. Mama's baby, daddy's maybe. Should women be held legally responsible for paternity fraud. Now, you heard women don't have to prove paternity. They're not obligated to. Yikes. This is going to be a tough topic. Listen, I want to have the discussion. Are you a brother out there who has gone through this? Maybe, you took the genetic test and it said you weren't the father, but you still had to pay for a child that wasn't yours. What happens if you find out you're not the father? What are the steps you should take immediately in order to rectify that situation? Can a woman go to jail for lying about the father of her child? Well, the lady said in the video, it's not a crime. How is that not a crime? 1-800-920-1580. Call me right now. Call me right now. Can I claim back child maintenance if, in fact, the child is proven to not be mine? Probably not. Is paternity fraud a crime in the U.S.? Can you sue a woman for lying about you being the father? How do you deal with finding out that the child is not yours? That's got to be traumatic for both the father and the child who believe that they're in their respective positions. That is my dad. That is my child. 1-800-920-1580. Get to your phone lines. How do you resolve paternity disputes? How are paternity disputes solved? What is the punishment for it, if there's any? Oh, gosh, here we go. It's about to get crazy. I had to bring somebody in for this show because I didn't want it to just be an opinion-based show. I have a friend who actually went through this, and he's on the line. I'm not going to go to him right this second because we got to come forward. But once we come forward, I'm going to introduce you to my homeboy. I've known him since I was 12, and he has gone through this personally. We're going to get his story when we come forward.
The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Congratulations to Trinity Unlimited Childcare for being KBLA Talk 1580's Office of the Week. Into your business today in the KBLA app or KBLA1580.com for the Office of the Week. Congratulations to Trinity Unlimited Childcare.
The Institute for Diversity Certification is all about the 3 Ds: dedication, determination, and discipline. Learn more about our globally recognized diversity certification program today by calling 1-800-983-6192. Again, 1-800-983-6192, or visit diversitycertification.org. As the #1 organization for certified diversity professionals and also certified diversity executive credentials, diversitycertification.org will provide an opportunity for you to demonstrate more discipline to your process. Go today and learn more about the diversity certification system. Call 1-800-983-6192. Again, 1-800-983-6192. Or go to diversitycertification.org. That's diversitycertification.org. The standard of excellence, equity, diversity, and inclusion.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 joins you in standing for human rights. The Los Angeles Civil, Human Rights and Equity Department, or LA Civil Rights for short, is focused on reducing bias and injustices while leveling the playing field. LA Civil Rights does this through equity and empowerment, the Office of Racial Equity, hate prevention, upward mobility programming, and youth programming. They convene commissions and advisory councils. The Civil, Human Rights and Equity Department of the City of Los Angeles is led by founding executive director Capri Maddox and is breaking new ground for municipal governance. LA Civil Rights oversees citywide initiatives, including the Renew program and the LA for All campaign. The LA Civil Rights Department believes that the goals of equity and inclusion for all people can be achieved through hard work and collective action. To get involved and be part of the solution, report a civil rights violation, or get more information, visit civilandhumanrights.lacity.org. That's civilandhumanrights.lacity.org or call 213-978-1845. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah. Usher Raymond. Yeah. Thugger, girl. Yeah. Go right up. Yeah. Make you say, no limit. Got that masterpiece. No limit, baby. Give you that black car. No limit. Just know when you roll with somebody like me, there's no limit, baby. Make you say, no limit. I see mama murder that. No limit, baby.
Ladies
girl, no limit.
and brothers,
no limit, baby.
the voice of reason,
You know that you fine.
live on KBLA Talk 1580. It's Monday, back in the building. There are no limits to my topic. But let me just say this. Before I get into this topic, man, I got to shout out a fallen soldier, man. One of our favorite callers. This is a good brother, man. He passed. His aunt reached out to me. You guys have heard him on the show ever since I started. His aunt reached out to me and told me he loved you, he respected you, but he passed. She didn't know what he passed from. I haven't gotten an update. But our beloved Richie Rich, if you don't remember him, here's a clip of what he sounded like. Man, the voice of Whitney. Wow. Just amazing spirit, man. Just Christ. Sounds just angelic, godly. All right, here we go. Richie Rich from Pasadena. Let's get him back in here, man. The playlist is called. But Richie Rich was talking some crazy stuff. Let's hear it, Rich.
Okay, so yeah, real quick. Hey, Whitney, cause she can sing too, on God. But so look,
On God.
she was really mad. She was really mad, though, that I didn't want to go to the restaurants with her no more because she refused to eat with utensils. Real talk, I can't even make this up. She's educated, real sister, beautiful, but she learned along the way. She learned half the truth and felt like as Africans, you know what I mean, we're supposed to be not eating with utensils, homie, you feel me? So I say all that to say that, yo, there is some conditions. You can't just be doing whatever you want to do and think somebody just going to be holding you down no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's keep it in context. Let's keep it respectful. You know what I'm saying?
Man, brother, I'm about to die. You hear me? This story is about to kill me, man. Hold on. Big brother time. It's big brother time, brother. Come on, Richie Rich. Man, that hurt my heart, man, when I found out about my brother Richie Rich, man, his aunt. And what's crazy is him and his aunt would call into the show. Man, it's just heartbreaking, man. I don't know what happened to Brother Rich. I'm gonna stay in contact with his auntie to see, you know, what he passed from. But I loved Richie Rich. He was a good brother, man. He reached out to me on several occasions to participate in some gang truce activity in Pasadena because, it's real heavy out there when it comes to certain gangs. And he was like, man, I need you to come holler at the neighborhood because you from here. I need you to do that. He reached out to me personally a few years ago to do that, and he's been following the show ever since. So when I heard about him, passing, man, it just hurt my heart, man. And I had to take a little piece of this show to acknowledge what happened to Reggie. Oh man, yeah, hopefully we can get him back in, man. But again, man, I'm just heartbroken over that brother because, you know, he was a good brother. He was trying to make his way back. You know, he's trying to make his way back, trying to do good things in the community. And really, it's going to set me off. Him dying is going to set me off. Because let me just say something, man. It's a lot of people out here who front like they down for the community, but they really not down for the community. If you see somebody doing good work in the community, why you got a problem with them? Why do people who actually do good work in the community have haters from the community? Can I ask that question? If you see somebody putting in the work, they putting in the work, right? They doing for the community. Now, they may not agree with you, your philosophy, your belief system, or whatever, but if you, at the bottom line, you see them doing work, why are you a hater of theirs? It might be work that you're not doing, right? They might be doing work in a lane that you're not doing. Man, I'm telling you, man, this is a sick culture we live in. I'm talking about our own. We hate on each other even when those of us who ain't perfect, who are flawed, are trying to get their lives together by doing for people like Richie Rich. Richie Rich, man, respected me enough to say, Zoe, your word carries weight in this hood. Can you come here and talk to folk? I said, yes, sir. I will be there. Man, the loss of Richie Rich is a big loss because that's a young man trying to turn his life around, man, and he's gone just in a heartbeat. You use that energy that you using to hate on brothers and sisters that are trying to do something for the community. Use that energy to celebrate them as opposed to hate on them. We got a lot of those out there. I promise you, 1-800-920-1580. Reggie King is my homeboy from Pasadena. We met when we were 12 years old in junior high school. Back to my topic. Should women be held legally responsible for paternity fraud? Now, this is something that actually happened to you. Yes?
Yes, sir.
Man, what's the story, brother? What happened?
Well, hey, first of all, rest in peace to Richie Rich. I'm saddened to hear that too. And we get right on into it. Man, I was like fresh out of high school and met a girl, thought nothing of it.
Wait, let me tell you, because I feel your spirit, poet. I feel your spirit. You can't cuss on AM radio. Your spirit.
No, I ain't even gonna go there, man. I already screamed myself.
All right, cool.
But you know what it is, though, man. But yo,
no, I know.
I met this woman. I met a young girl back in the day and thought nothing of it, right? And man, like several years later, like 25 years later, 4 of my own children later, you know, I get a letter from child support. Now, erroneously, I was being sued for child support for a child I had custody of already, so when I got the letters, I thought it was from the same source. Turns out it was another child. So when I investigated it, we did a test, DNA test, and it turns out the child wasn't mine. And so I thought that was the end of it, right? Was I got the information saying that the child wasn't mine because I didn't do the DNA test, that was the court's, all right? And so I go get a job, and next thing I know, I'm getting garnished 50% of my disposable income, like half, right? So I follow up. Turns out that I had missed the court date, and there was a judgment made. Once they make a judgment, then the child becomes legally yours, even though they're aware that it's not biologically yours.
Wait, so you had a failure to appear, because you know them failure to appears get ugly if you don't show up. Yeah,
don't fail to appear, family. show up. You know, but I mean, for one reason or another, I missed it. And when I missed it, that's what got me. Now, this was years ago, brother, and I mean, they garnishing my pay now.
Wow.
They're aware that the child's not mine. When you call the child support agency, they're not opposed to lying to you. You know, they'll tell you they know nothing about the DNA test, and I'm like, look, I didn't have $3,000 for a DNA test for me and the child and the mother. So somebody paid for it. But they deny all of that. Unless you have all your paperwork and all your ducks in a row, they will get you, and there's no one who's trying to help you.
So
I even had a lawyer tell me that I should set up visitation.
For a child that ain't yours?
For a child that ain't mine. Wow. Check this out. I went to family court because the child was being adopted. The mother wasn't doing a good job, so the child was being adopted. I get a phone call, you know, with some guy chastising me, telling me, brother, you know, if you ain't going to take care of the child, let somebody else do it. So I cussed him out right quick. And he realized what was going on. Right. You know, he realized what was going on, right? So he's like, yo, look, if that's the case, you need to come here and sign away your parental rights. So I'm thinking I'm in the clear now, finally. I go to family court. And this is the first time I ever see this child. Her mother got the same documentation that I got saying that I wasn't the father. But she points at me and says, there goes your daddy. So this little girl turns and looks at me, brother. And, you know, before I could even respond to the kid, the dude who's representing me pops up and explains to me that I'm being railroaded and that they're well aware that this child isn't mine. So they sign away my parental rights based on the fact that we're not related, right? And so after that's done, I'm thinking I'm good because I didn't follow up and do my due diligence, which is what I advise anybody to do. When I didn't do my due diligence, I'm thinking I'm good. And it turns out not only did I still have to pay child support even though I signed away my parental rights, but the woman who was adopting the child also sued me for child support.
The woman who adopted the child, which is not your child,
right,
sued
you
present in court for child support.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And she knew the kid wasn't mine, too. So I got 3 cases for the same child that ain't mine.
What?
From the mother, from welfare, who's never going to stop, and from the adoptive mother.
Nah, man. And don't the baby, don't the child have your last name?
Has my last name. She's aware that she's not my child. Everyone involved, except apparently the child support agency, which was the DA when I first started. You know, everyone involved is aware that this child is not mine. But no one wants to stop the money. And they don't want to look for her real father, which seems like what would be the interest. If you know this kid isn't mine, then why don't you go looking for Scott Free? He's somewhere doing everything he want to do.
So the bad mama gets child support. She about to lose the child. So the child is in the foster care system because the bad mama ain't a good mama, but she still has the right to get child support.
Right.
Then the foster parent gets child support, and you on the hook for all of it, and Scott Free is somewhere chilling.
Scott Free, right.
Wow.
And see, this is back when they could just go ahead and put anybody's name on it. Now you got to kind of witness that or something. But back in the day, they could just put your name down, you know, and play pick-a-daddy, literally.
Pick-a-dad. So you did the paternity test.
Yeah.
Right? And it was proven that biologically speaking, this is not your child.
Yes, sir.
So the lady who said it was your child, was there any crime committed? What she did, was that considered a crime?
Well, according to the paperwork she signed that I happened to bear witness to, I saw the paperwork when I did some digging. It says under penalty of perjury, you know, before you put somebody's name down, right? So she definitely perjured herself, which I would think is a crime, but nobody's looking at that because she don't got no money. Scott Free can't be found, and I was making a check.
Wow.
And that's what it comes down to. It's nothing to do. I'm not saying that child support shouldn't exist. I'm saying it needs a drastic reform.
Right.
Because at its current shape, this is slavery. I mean, this is a debt that my actual children will inherit from me.
No.
And they're having a hard enough time trying to take care of them.
No. The kids inherit the child support?
As I understand it, yes, sir. Somebody got to pay.
No. Well, the state of California, is that a law in the state of California?
I don't want to quote that, but I've heard that.
Hold tight, poet. When we come forward, more from my childhood friend, Mr. Reggie King, man. We got to get deep into this conversation. Should women be held legally responsible for paternity fraud?
Make you say, no limit. Got that masterpiece, no limit, baby. You get that black car, no limit. Just know when you roll with somebody like me, there's no limit, baby. Make you say, no limit. I see murder that, no limit, baby. You get that ghetto deep, girl, no limit. Just know when you roll with somebody like me, there's no limit, baby. Cars on decline, baby, the cars on decline. You roll with me.
Fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Doug Davis, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. The Supreme Court will take up a second case on the student loan forgiveness debate. This one comes from the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, based in New Orleans. A lower court ruling blocked the program from being implemented. Justices have already agreed to hear a case from the Eighth Circuit Court of Appeals, based in St. Louis. The Detroit Symphony Orchestra says an audience member shouted a racial slur during a performance Friday night of a Charlie Brown Christmas, Cyrus Chestnut and Friends. Chestnut is black. The orchestra has apologized but did not say what slur was yelled. Bay Area rapper Too Short is being honored with his own street. Oakland renamed Foothill Boulevard between 47th Avenue and High Street as Too Short Way. The mayor unveiled the sign yesterday following a ceremony at the rapper's former high school, Fremont High School, in Oakland. And that is the latest. I'm Doug Davis from the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
NetSpend All Access account. Get the account designed for your everyday mobile banking needs. Banking services. Pathward N.A. Member FDIC. Deposit account opening is subject to registration and ID verification. Terms and costs apply.
Don't talk. Just listen. Listening is life-changing. As words become increasingly weaponized and politicized in our community and in our country, sometimes it's easier not to listen. But charitable listening is an act of generosity, a sign of respect. When we listen actively, we surrender our own assumptions and notions to make space for the ideas of another. In times of turmoil, listening is the only way forward. Thank you for listening to KBLA Talk 1580. Talk 1580. Talk 1580. Listen.
KBLA Talk 1580 invites you to join us in celebrating the season of giving by being part of the solution. As we enjoy great food, family, warmth, and well wishes in whatever our festive tradition may be, we share the beauty of the season by reaching out to the less fortunate. Please help us to help others with the KBLA Cover the Houseless Cozy Community Coat and Blanket Drive. All you have to do is drop off new or clean, gently used winter coats and blankets during business hours, now through December 20th. All of the coats and blankets will be donated to unsheltered individuals and families experiencing houselessness. Simply bring your donation to 4434 Crenshaw Boulevard in Los Angeles, near Vernon Avenue, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. weekdays. That's 4434 Crenshaw in historic Leimert Park. During the holidays and every day, let's remember, we keep us safe. We keep us warm. We are the safety net. And together, we can cover the unsheltered. Get caught up in the spirit of the season, the spirit of love. Make a difference with your friends at KBLA Talk 1580.
California has millions of homes that could be damaged in a strong earthquake, and earthquakes are inevitable in the Golden State. An older home is especially vulnerable to earthquake damage, so you may need to take steps to strengthen it and help reduce the chance of damage. Visit strengthenmyhouse.com to learn about better protecting your home from earthquake damage. The work may cost less than you think and can often be completed in a few days. You've worked hard to get a home. Now's the time to protect it. Get prepared today so you can worry less tomorrow. Visit strengthenmyhouse.com.
Special Needs Network Incorporated cordially invites you to Christmas Care Exchange in the Park, Sunday, December 18th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. in Lamert Park, located on 43rd Place in Crenshaw. Experience a day of giving, love, community, and support. There will be celebrity guests, arts and crafts, resource fair, and more. Come take a picture with Santa. Enjoy the DJ. This is a free event open to the public Sunday, December 18th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Don't miss the Christmas Care Exchange in Lamert Park, located on 43rd Place in Crenshaw. This is the season of giving, and the Special Needs Network, together with Assembly Member Isaac Bryan, wants to bless you Sunday, December 18th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. There will be toys for all kids up to 18 years old. Children must be present. See you Sunday. Thanks to our sponsors, Let's Behold, The Butterfly Effect, and SEIU 721, State Council on Developmental Disabilities, Niagara Water, Lakeshore Learning, Puck Schools, Crystal Stairs, Beach Cities, Beta Gamma Nu, Casa Lopez, and Los Fabulocos.
You're the victim of a car accident. Who goes to bat for you is crucial. We're MVP Accident Attorneys, the personal injury pros. Hiring the right law firm could be the difference between a rewarding settlement and striking out. When it comes to getting the maximum compensation you deserve, our team hits it out of the park. Call the pros at MVP Wins for a free case review. Call 833-MVP-WINS.
Call me your MVP.
The Institute for Diversity Certification is all about the 3 Ds: dedication, determination, and discipline. Learn more about our globally recognized diversity certification program today by calling 1-800-983-6192. Again, 1-800-983-6192, or visit diversitycertification.org. As the #1 organization for certified diversity professionals and also certified diversity executive credentials, diversitycertification.org will provide an opportunity for you to demonstrate dedication to the field, determination to make progress, and more discipline to your process. Go today and learn more about the diversity certification system. Call 1-800-983-6192. Again, 1-800-983-6192. Or go to diversitycertification.org. That's diversitycertification.org. The standard of excellence, equity, diversity, and inclusion.
You're listening to the voice of reason with Joe Williams.
Hey, what's happening, homie? This is Lil Wolf Flies, man. Hey, Payne, I want you to tell about your shorty, homie. And I'm going to tell him about mine, dog.
Even though I'm not your man, you're not my girl, I'ma call you my shorty. I can't stand to see you treated bad. I'll be this for my shorty. And we ain't getting nothing that we ain't supposed to do, 'cause you're my shorty. Baby girl, you know I be home. Keep me on the ringtone. Say it to me,
soon as I seen her, she told her I'd pay for it. The mom the baddest thing round, and she already know it. I pointed at the dunk and told her this whole
Ladies and gentlemen,
told her I let her blow it.
The voice of reason,
baby, you can't ignore it.
Having a real discussion tonight.
First time I called her, she didn't know how to throw it back.
Shout out to our brother, Richie Rich. So I'm on the phone right now with my brother Reggie King. Reggie King has just laid out an almost incomprehensible story of being named the father of a child that is not biologically his. At the same time, he does admit that that failure to appear was the domino that set all of this mess in motion. Poet, I'm calling him Poet because he's one of the greatest rappers no one has ever heard of. Even my homeboy Cool Mo D says he's the Big Daddy Kane of the West Coast. He's an amazing rapper, been rapping for many, many years. His rap name was Poet back in the day, so I just call him Poet. But his name is Reggie. So let's get technical. Reginald. That's how his father's. Reginald.
He pulled pops out the bag. All right.
All right, it's all good, Reginald. But that's my brother right here, man. And we done seen a lot of days. And I've watched him deal with this. Reg, if you had to coach young brothers, how would you help them navigate away from the situation you find yourself in today?
I had a lot of time to think about it, brother, and the first place I would go is spiritual. I would remind them that every time they exchange themselves with somebody, they're making a spiritual link.
Okay.
And so think beyond what the backside look like. Think beyond the frame and get under the hood. Make an investment, in yourself by not sharing yourself so easily. I mean, like you said, I was poet. As a matter of fact, when I looked at the paperwork, that's the name the girl put down on the paperwork.
She put your rap name down.
She put my name and my rap name, right? Now, not to down her, but it's a small window for gestation, right? So she was figuring out who it was. Could be this cat, could be that cat. This one looked like he got a record deal. And I mean, if you're in that kind of position, you're an athlete, you're up and coming, whatever, man, you need to be mindful of your worth, not just your social and political and financial worth, but your spiritual worth. I'm connected to this woman, even though I haven't seen her since the day I saw her, except that time in court. I'm connected to her child, who used to actually look at the birth certificate and trace her finger across my name according to her adoptive mother, just wishing for her father. You make an impact when you impact with a woman. And then cross your T's and dot your I's and, go about being a man, because this shadow work don't do itself.
Man, and do you know how old this child is today?
Man, she's got to be about 35.
No! I'm going to run down the block, brother. You owe child support for a 35-year-old child that ain't yours.
With a teenage child of her own, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she used to be my Facebook friend. Cool kid.
Come on, man. Wow.
Real spit, man. And I mean, 35. And it's not like I'm paying her or her mother. This is arrears. I mean, I've talked it down to where it's not 50% of my disposable income anymore, but this is arrears, and that debt is like 20 racks, 25 racks.
And this has been listen, man, this is my brother. I've known this about him and his situation for a long time. And this thing has derailed certain things that he has tried to do, all because somebody just said, it was Reggie who told me, boy, you can't even go fishing.
No. They will take your fishing license.
They'll take your fishing license if you behind.
Take your driver's license and ask you how you're going to get to work to pay them.
Wow. Man.
Took my notary license, took my real estate, took my insurance license. If you don't stay on top of it, if you try to play rough, raw dog with it, screw that, I'm going to do my own thing and hustle or whatever, you're going to be living underground. And there's no one, that's the thing, it's like you think law and order and the government and justice system is supposed to help you.
Are you saying there's no justice for fathers? Are you saying mothers can basically get away with anything they want?
They truly can, especially in a situation like this. Now, of course, you can't just say he's the daddy anymore like you used to be able to. But those who got that put on them have that stuck on them. I don't know anybody who's dodged this bullet.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So the system has evolved since then, since this happened to you. But anybody that it has happened to, there's no dodging that bullet.
No, and to say the system has evolved would be, as if evolution was in slow motion for real. I mean, it hasn't really evolved. It's, you're still going to catch it. You're still going to catch it. They're going to get their money. You cannot get a passport. You cannot leave the country. You're a slave. You owe them, and they're going to get their money plus interest. And I believe it was 100% interest. Imagine. So yeah, it gets in the way of you progressing. It gets in the way of your psyche. It messes up the way you think. It puts you in constant hustle mode in your reptilian mind.
Survival.
Yeah. Right. You got to deal with it on a regular basis or hustle around it, then try to move on in another relationship and let it get serious. Because wifey gonna marry that debt.
Yeah.
And this is for a man who, I wasn't the greatest father in the world. I had my own issues, but this definitely made it difficult for the children that I had, because it's hard to take care of your kids on half your dollar, especially when you're a single dad.
But let me just
say they're aware that I have other children.
Let me say this, though. You did a damn good job with your daughter.
Hey, thank you, brother.
Now, this is daddy now. Listen, the universe got him back because he was smooth like Morris Day back in the day. He had Stacey Adams and the baggies.
Come on now.
I ain't lying, though. I'm not lying.
That's real.
So the universe got him back and gave him how many daughters?
6 daughters.
He got 6 daughters. Now, this child would be considered the 7th daughter, but she's not yours.
And would be my oldest. Yeah, that would be my oldest.
Wow. Let me just say this, man. Thank you so much, brother, for calling in and setting this show right. I appreciate you for sharing your story, man. And throughout the years, I've tried to hook you up with lawyers and all types of folk to try to get you right. But this is cold.
Right. I got a couple things going. It's looking a lot better. And yes, you have, and I appreciate you, man. Anything I could do for my brother, man.
Hey, man, I love you, man. Thank you for calling in. We appreciate it. That was Reggie King. He shared his story. The phone lines are cracking. When I come forward, I'm going to talk to y'all about what you just heard.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
The state task force is getting closer to identifying what reparations will look like in California. Maisha Cairo here with your K-Black Minute News, brought to you by CaliforniaBlackMedia.org. The California Task Force to study and develop reparation proposals for African Americans will be conducting its last meeting of 2022 on December 14th and 15th at Oakland City Hall Chambers, beginning at 9 a.m. with time for public comment. Meetings will be live streamed on the task force website or on ETM Media YouTube. Task Force Chairperson Kamala Moore says that the next meeting is of high importance and will include an in-depth conversation about redress and repair. So far, the task force has determined a conservative estimate of 2 million African Americans in California who have ancestors that were enslaved here in the U.S. They are still determining what or how much the conversation on social media pages at KBLA 1580.
If you have certain chronic conditions, such as heart disease,
asthma,
diabetes, and you're 19 years of age or older,
52, 36,
42, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just 1 dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I'm going to ask my doctor about getting vaccinated
with Prevnar 20. Did you know it pays to drive electric? With government rebates, you'll save thousands on the purchase of a new or used more you'll save, both on fuel and maintenance far into the future. Start seeing savings today. Learn more at ladwp.com/EV. That's ladwp.com/EV.
When you're young, life is full of choices. Don't let opioids like highly addictive and deadly fentanyl take away your life with just one wrong pill. Addiction is a disease that can affect anyone at any age. But there is a choice to get help for this disease. Find medically proven treatment options, including virtual, at choosemat.org.
More of the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams right now on KBLA Talk 1580.
Dedicated to the lover in you, in you, in you. I can't wait, I can't wait, I can't wait, don't can't wait.
Leather in the summer, silk in the winter. This is such an art. Where do I begin? Used to sing tenor in the church choir. Really, I was flexing, but the good leg was fine. I'm the type of guy that noticed subtle signs when I cuddle mine. She ain't even trying to look sexy, but even if she was, so what? Mother broke up, don't mean to be so abrupt, but that lets me know that she's a human being, and being human's hard on the boulevard. Girl, you got it bad. Glad I'm not one, but yet you got it good. You are the hot one, but I'm Andre, Benjamin Andre to be exact. You'd hope to meet a gentleman one day, well this is that. In fact, Dookie introduced us at a show about a year or so ago. I don't know, mom slips me. I'm in the southern states, you know, where all the pimps be dressing all boogie and carrying ugly cups. And yes, you're getting booed if you do not get down. And yes, you're getting sued by women who didn't get up off they seat on the bus. And feet and rust, and beat is a must. And we shouldn't lust, but we do. I'm laughing at the calendars and clocks. Ask not to match the socks. What's in your speaker box, pink and blue? You're lollygagging, you're slow poking. You got me open, you're playing with me, darling. I'm not a toy. As if Anita Baker brings the joy. You're a kinder, the tiner, meaning the real McCoy. I can't wait.
The voice of reason. I can't wait to talk to the callers. We got an incredible topic tonight. My brother Reggie King just jumped on and shared his unique story. Tonight's topic: should women be held legally responsible for paternity fraud? This is deep, man. Let's get right to it. The caller been on the longest. That is Fred from Northridge. Then we're going to JW South Central. Talk to us. Fred? Did we lose Fred? Okay, we got to move on. JW South Central, get in here.
Hey, how you doing, my brother?
I'm alive and well, man. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well myself. Yeah, what I would like to say is there's a brother by the name of Dr. C. Hazen Johnson. He's normally on YouTube. I got turned on to him a while back, but anyway, he has a bunch of brothers that normally chime in and text in on his YouTube, and they do it like a support group based on the topics and that. And because they all been through that particular, system, how they've been, mistreated, and how it's biased, and how it's unfair, and how it's rigged, and et cetera. And he also does statistics and stats with numbers and facts. And that's one thing I really admire about him because, it's the truth. You can't argue against the truth because numbers don't lie. Mm-hmm. And that's one thing that I wanted to bring to the listening audience attention, that if they go to Dr. T. Hazen Johnson, he has a PhD, and he speaks on those particular matters and this black issues in general, mainly for black boys. But yeah, let me bring another dimension to this as well. He also makes a point about how a lot of black fathers be trying to petition the court or get their biological kids that actually do belong to them, and it's not a mama's baby and a papa's maybe, but it's actually their child, but the mother is using the child as a tool or weapon, and in the court.
Hold on, you cooking, JW. Hold on, I got to carry you forward. When we come forward, we're going to go back to JW from South Central Los Angeles. He's cooking with grease.
The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings will disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminding you that when we fight, we win. Community Coalition trains activists and organizers in order to support power building with Black, Brown, Indigenous, and people of color. Community Coalition works to help transform the social and economic conditions in South LA that foster addiction, crime, violence, and poverty by building a community institution that involves thousands in creating, influencing, and changing public policy. Founded by Karen Bass in 1990, Community Coalition was born as an African American and Latino organization with the goal of turning hopelessness and despair into action. The activism of the Community Coalition's members and community residents has almost solely stimulated economic recovery in South LA for decades, generating billions of dollars by redirecting them to South LA schools and foster care. In addition, Community Coalition offers amazing mind, body, soul resources, advocacy, and policy work, and has a robust and active membership body. To become a member, get a referral, or get support for your nonprofit, visit CocoSouthLA.org. That's CocoSouthLA.org, or call 323-7. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk
1580. Don't do them like this, Mike. Come on. Come on, you know that baby ain't yours.
She was more like a beauty queen from a movie scene. I said don't mind, but what do you mean?
What do you mean I'm the one?
Who dance on the floor and around?
Come on, man.
And I am the one who dance on the floor and around.
Take it up a notch on the mic. Come on.
She told me her name was Billie Jean. She caused a scene. Then heavy hair turned to ice cream. Being the one who would dance on the floor and around.
What do people say to you, Mike? Come on.
People always told me, be careful what you do.
Don't go around.
Go around breaking young girls' hearts. And mother always told me, be careful who you love. Be careful what you do.
Come on, man. Because a lie becomes the truth. My playlist is my co-host. The child is not my son. Come on, Mike. That's tonight's topic on the Voice of Reason. We turned up right now. Should women be held legally responsible for paternity fraud? Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. JW from South Central was actually cooking. We had to put that record in just because of JW. JW, finish your thought, brother.
Boy, yeah, but that's the main thing I wanted to bring to your attention, as well as from a different perspective. I had a cousin. He had paid for child support for his son while he actually had his son come back from the mother's house in Texas and live with him in Los Angeles. And he paid all the bills, had receipts and everything, but he still had to pay for child support. And I thought that was unjust as well. And the bottom line, the system is unfair, no matter how you look at it, as the person's child or not. But it's a cold piece of work how you got it set up. But like I stated earlier, Dr. T. Hazen Johnson, he has a PhD he speaks on those different topics, as well as have other brothers that chime in, and they have somewhat of a support group where brothers that have similar experiences and a past history with it, and they support each other as well as inform newer brothers that's going through the trauma. So I just wanted to just bring that to the viewers' attention and everybody that's listening, to the topic tonight. And that's pretty much it. I almost was going to share some of my personal trauma, but I think I might keep that to myself.
Hey, brother, we appreciate it, though, man. Thank you for calling, man. Thank you for bringing South Central into the building. You got a seat at the table. Call in anytime.
Right on, my brother. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Now, listen, callers. We got callers, man. We got Oakland. We got Los Angeles. We got Battle Creek, Michigan. We've got Northridge, California. Y'all sit tight. When we come forward, we at the bottom of the hour going into the top of the hour. When we come forward, I'm going to deal with all of these callers because brothers got something to say.
Remember, you always think twice. Don't think twice. She told my baby we finished at 3. She looked at me and showed a photo of baby crying. I was like mine. Go dance on the floor in the round, baby. People always told me, be careful what you do.